Like many others, are you stuck on Diamond and Ascendant? Are you struggling to figure out how to reach Immortal? You're not alone in this journey. This video is specifically tailored to help you. Please note that if you are Silver, Gold, Plat, this video will still be beneficial, but I suggest focusing on your mechanical skills first. This video primarily focuses on improving your utility usage, game sense, which are crucial for the climbing the ranks. Hey, I'm Faye. I coach hundreds of people, a couple of collegiate teams, and many of my students were hardstuck diamonds and ascendants. In this video, I will cover their most common mistakes and help you climb to the promised land. So let's start. Let's start with defense. Mistake number 1. Starting very far from the barriers. When the barriers go down, as a defender, you draw a line through the space you want to control and you controlling right now. Let's look at the most common ascent comps and where agents usually play. When you start on the back foot, you are giving so much space to attackers claim for free. Look at the line you control when you start next to the barrier and you are on the back foot. Starting on the back foot gives you less information. When you start close to the barriers, you can hear footsteps. Plus, if you are a keen listener, each agent has different footsteps, so you can give their location too. For example, if you hear Sova and Jed on A main, it's most likely A hit, due to Initiator and Space Taker are being close to A side. I can hear you say that I can start at the barrier. What if they dash me and catch me off guard? Especially if you play with an agent with no mobility. That brings us to the second mistake. Mistake number 2. Not adapting. After every round of defense, you need to reflect on the round and ask what happened. What was the utility? Where does Soa Dart land? Where does KO 0 point land? What is a Jet's dash location? And how you can play around it. Let's look at an example. The most common Ascent B hit. Omen Paranoia at the start, Jet Cloudburst dashes switch, and Soa Dart stairs. If you play stairs position as a killjoy, you will be forced to take 50-50 or unfavorable 70-30 fights and most likely get traded even if you win the initial gunfight. But if you adapt and you create solutions to put yourself in advantage fights, how about you play market with the swarms on the lane and switch, and when that Jet dashes to the switch, you pop both of them, pushing Jet out of her cloudburst with a chip damage, and you put your crosshair exactly where her head's supposed to be. Mistake 4. Not playing based on your loadout. What I mean by this, every round should be shaped around your loadout, what kind of weapon you have, and which fight you should put yourself into. Based on your loadout, you should identify the positions you should be playing. The map changed drastically if you have Vandal or Spectra, or if you have Classic or Sheriff. A good exercise to practice this separate gunfights into 3 categories: close, mid, and long. Then you can go to well planned, or you can just find any image and draw exit position according to those 3 categories. For example, let's look at Ascent. So let's look at Ascent and as a defender, and let's look at the first close fights. And close fights includes Classic, Shorty, Judge, Bucky, maybe even Frenzy we can put there. So with which areas as a defender you can play with those weaponry? You can play backside if someone coming here. You can play very close. You can play inside smoke if there's a smoke. You can play bottom mid. They come. You can play 3 these areas. So these areas you get the gist. These areas will give you the most benefit of the close range loadout. So making this exercise makes you remember which positions of the map you can play, because based on those positions you can create your plans. So let's look at the mid-range. So this can be a good mid-range fight. This can be a good mid-range fight because you're cutting the distance if someone coming from here. This angle can be a good mid-range. So even though, for example, if you're close you want to be more tucked in, if you're mid-range you want to be a little bit more off angle, because you can your time to kill will be better. So you can think like that too. Based on your weaponry, the positions you play is change a lot. So for example, if you have mid-range weapon, and maybe you shouldn't swing this, maybe you shouldn't take this fight or stop mid. So this kind of decision making, it sounds very simple, but you might also see in ranked. Players making those bad decisions in your rank and they get punished by it. But if you keep to your plan and keep to your discipline, you'll be more successful and you will win more rounds and you will get more kills. So let's look at the long range fights. So for example, what you can do long range, top mid, you can peek cat, of course. Here you can take A main angle, you can take B main angle to this fight here. So, but the thing is, for example, if you have a long range, maybe not go in here, maybe not go into those spots. So always take so to give an example, always make a plan. So for example, you're gonna take B main angle, let's say with the operator, okay? And someone will challenge you from B main angle. So what's your next location? Where are you going? Are you going this spot? Are you going back to market? Are you going back here? Are you going boathouse? Watch the lane. So still, even though you pushed out that angle, you should position yourself into the next best position based on your weaponry. So if you get pushed out to this position, maybe you go stairs and still watch with a long range people swinging at you, and you won't be smoked, because if you have an operator, you don't want to be in smoke, you want to be outside of the smoke. Mistake 6: not having a plan. Each run you should have a plan for yourself, and if you're willing, for your team too. I will focus on the individual plans in this video. If you're interested in climbing, you must do your own diligence first. You have to do your homework. I always suggest, and is a must for my students, to main 2 agents for each map and create a playbook by watching the best. Find a professional player or content creator playing similar to your style and create a playbook based on your decisions. Which positions they play, how do they spend their utility, and when. These players always reach the top of rank boards in every act, since they make good decisions and understand the game better than most of us. Therefore, we can learn from them to help us climb. For example, I learned this smoke a couple years ago from DRX Mako. It creates so many angles for you to play and allow you to take advantageous gunfights. And this is my plan if I see a rush.
Oh, backside.
Down A.
Jen, he went Jen.
Nowhere to run.
Now let's look at having a plan and play off your weaponry in one play together. So I learned this from Liquid Nats. He puts his nerve and I have a Spectre. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna pop this orb, dodge the utility, get inside my orb, and get a better fight for my weaponry. Also, I have a surprise factor in here. I hope that this video will help you your journey to reach your dream rank. And if you need more help and one-on-one attention, you can always reach out to me on my Discord. It's on the description. Also book me from a MetaFi. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.